Something else I wanted to talk about. So, our housing situation. As of late, we have found another home. The house that I showed you guys in the episode, I want to say it was either 3, 4, or 5. I cannot remember which episode that was. But on the daily, I definitely feel like the guy was weird. And he just was doing too much. He yelled at my husband. So I'm going to give you guys a little backstory. He asked me, the guy, so we met him through my sister. He used to rent to my mother. He seemed like a nice guy. He requested, when I met him, he handed me an application, and in front of my sister, she vouched this. He said to fill out the application with my children's names, my name, my husband's name, our age, everybody's ages and birth dates, so that if there were ever, if they were male or female, and if there was ever a fire at the spot or whatever, because he's had like some paperwork go missing from his other tenants, and something had happened in the house, and he got charged by like the fire department or something because they didn't know how many people were in the home. Okay, something like that, which I get it. You need the information. When he hands me this application, though, that's all he asked me. He requested for me to only put that stuff on there. So I'm like, okay, So when I turn him, because he asks us if the process is going to be more, like he's going to have more paperwork for me eventually, or whatever. He didn't ask like anything else. So I was like, okay. I turned in the application. The man texts me all crazy, bro, talking about you didn't fill out the entire application, blah, blah, blah. So I call him like, because he said he sends like these dollar signs and ... 000, like, he says like you got a lot of kids and no income, ... money and ... So I'm like, wait a minute, what? You could barely even read the entire application. The only parts you could really see was the part that I put the, information in at. So I tell him, I said, you told me not to fill out the lease part until I was with you. By the way, this man is like 80. You told me not to fill out the lease part until I was with you. And then you turn around and tell me not to fill out anything else because you had another application that I had to do. So I thought when I brought that one back that he would be giving me another one, and he didn't hand me anything else. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, maybe we got to wait until it gets closer to him getting a place together, because he still had to fix the floors, and he had to fix this hole in the wall up on the roof, like in the ceiling in the living room, and he needed to paint the bottom floor and spray wash the basement or whatever, spray wash to clean the gutters or whatever. So we weren't moving in right away. We have till the 29th. As far as our lease is up. So I was like, huh? So my husband calls him because he's like I didn't know you would be texting me either. Like I didn't expect to be text this. You could have just called me and asked me, hey, blah, blah, blah. But that's what it was, right? So he talked to my husband, and he starts telling my husband that I'm a liar, that I did not fill out the application. He's like, my wife gave you what you asked for. He called me a liar. So I called my sister and I said, girl, he is tripping. This man is tripping. I tell her what happened, and so she ends up calling him and tells him like, that's all you asked from her. He's like, I can't do anything with that. I need the income and this, that, and so forth. She has a lot of kids and yada, 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 yada. So mind you, this man also, when I talked to him on the phone about the next time, he wants to talk about women with their children and being nappy-headed. He called the women that he used to rent to chickenheads. He said that they would be tearing up his house and stuff and all of that. And he talked about like he couldn't afford to pay this $500 water bill that somebody in the house previous to us had left. And I'm just looking at him like, yo, that has nothing to do with us as tenants, but I totally get it. I totally understand. There's a lot going on right now, especially in the housing market. Landlords are really upset. Tenants are getting evicted. The memorandum just was lifted. And it's just been crazy. Like, it's been so crazy trying to find a house, because normally like you wouldn't have these problems really. Like, but it seems ever since this pandemic happened, when people weren't paying their rent and stuff, like these people want you to have 3, 4, 5, 10 times your rent. They want you to have a 780 credit score. They want you to have all of these things. And so it's making the process a lot harder for people like myself who's rebuilding their credit, and who's like just trying to get a good footing. You know, they send you like all these hoops and loops. But anyways, this man, you know, from what I learned after the fact of me just deciding not to deal with him, I learned that he's pretty shady and that he's not organized. He's not professional at all. And he likes to use people who aren't legit like workers. He hires people off the streets, you know, like crackheads and like lower end workers who would just kind of take $20 to paint. You know, he's not hiring professionals, and that's a big red flag for me. I don't like that idea. You know, everywhere we've ever stayed, we have professionals who are maintaining our home. So I just was kind of like, we'll go with somebody else. So I continued to look, and we ended up finding this woman, and she's really cool. So I hope, you know, we're waiting right now to hear back from her. We just got the paperwork and stuff done today. So I paid a deposit today. I'll let you guys see the house once we get everything together, because I'm not going to put y'all through that anymore. It's been very, very, very stressful for me. It's been very stressful for us. And I felt so sad telling the children we weren't going to get the other house, because of what happened with the guy. We just kind of like decided to not work with him. You know, I'm like, you know, I just, nah. You know, nah. I'd rather just not deal with the dramas. It's like too much dramas before we're even getting in the spot. Like, what is it going to be like once we're living there? You know what I mean? So we opted to not. But I hope you guys enjoyed the little sit down. Hope you mentioned on the daily. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. And that was my tea for on the daily. See you guys in my next video. Bye. Let me know below if you guys like these on the daily sit downs. I'll do a couple more. All right. Deuces.